On today's show, you're going to hear several references to Brian's special savings on the whole ball of wax. If you are interested, purchase it before midnight on Saturday, as that's when the special savings ends. Make a mental note to check out the details in the show description. And now, someone hand me the remote.
For clothes that Tristan loves. Bold 3 Detergent Plus Fabric Softener. Spray. Relief.
We're running a special promotion this month on the whole ball of wax. Grab $250 off and score a free ticket to the big event. Just use the code LAL2024 at checkout to take advantage of this limited time offer. Don't let this opportunity slip by. Level up your business today.
Call toll free.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
So today I am spending my time working on tires this morning. Gotta love it, but it is what it is, right? Part of the business that's not glamorous, not glorious, but it's just the basic life stuff that we all go through. One thing I wanted to do is spend just a couple quick minutes this morning. I don't want to lose the excitement or the enthusiasm that I had with a conversation with a gentleman yesterday on a coaching call. I was meaning to capture some of these thoughts after our call. I get all fired up and charged up like you guys do. And usually those are some of my more favorite podcast episodes because you guys, when we all talk, we get the juices flowing, right? And it gets me in this mental creative space, and it just makes me think about some best practices, some great thoughts, stuff that you guys pull out of me when we're talking. And the gentleman had a bunch of questions about door-to-door sales, door-to-door marketing, postcard marketing, all of the above. And I just wanted to talk about it for just a couple of minutes. Maybe you guys are just getting started in business, or maybe you guys are looking to expand your business, even broadly speaking, with postcards and billing and door-to-door marketing. And what's an effective way to introduce yourself out there than to just rely on a Google listing, to rely on a website, that kind of deal. And so we had a really good conversation. The guy goes, "This is money. Like, this is phenomenal stuff. This is great." And to somebody, again, that might be in business for a decade or 2 decades, this is just the wax on, wax off. Like, you know how to get the phone to ring. You've been doing this enough. Frankly, you're probably like, I don't want the phone to ring at this point. I'm busy. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm waiting for fall. I'm waiting for winter. Last thing I want is another lawn care client. Maybe not. Maybe you're in the growth mode and you're like, hey, we're expanding. We'll take on everything. We're looking to get more customers. It doesn't matter if it comes from the website. It doesn't matter if it comes from a gas station conversation at the gas pump, or if it comes from passing out postcards or flyers when you're doing some hand billing, right? So for new folks and folks just getting started in the lawn and landscaping business, I think this will be a really good value add, and we'll try to keep it tight. By the way, the stores are going to open up in a few minutes anyway, so hopefully they usher me on in to get my tires fixed, right? So just trying to take advantage of this 20-minute window where I'm like, my accounts receivables are up to date. My email is pretty cleared out. I'm not making a post right now on Instagram. I'm like, there's only so much I can do, and I'm not one to sit around. So what do? I grab the phone, and I'm like, let's do a little roadshow podcast. So I want to talk about some great value add here. I think it'll be really, really insightful, especially for the new folks that are out there just getting started in business. So if you guys want to hang tight with us, we're going to hear from today's show sponsors and announcements. We've got a lot of great stuff going on, folks. A lot of people taking advantage of the whole ball of wax, getting their free ticket to LAL. We have some exciting announcements for Whole Ball of Wax members and coaching call members for a free link trial coming down the pike. Folks, there's just a lot of great stuff going on. I know this time of year, we're all kind of getting reinvigorated because the season's kind of changing. The weather's kind of shifting. You kind of get that fervency, that fever of winter's coming, right? So a lot of us start to perk up and start getting a little bit more ambitious to pad stats, get some extra revenue coming in. And, winter's going to be here. And last thing we want to do is go into winter with not having a good war chest to make sure that our bills are paid, having that savings account, making sure that your ducks are in a row, so on and so forth, right? So the squirrels have it figured out, man. They're chasing their nuts all fall to make sure that they got food for the winter. I think we should all be doing the same thing, all right? So let's do this really quick. We're going to kick it over to Mr. Producer, and then we're going to come right on back.
During August, when you purchase the whole ball of wax at LaunchpreneurAcademy.com and use the code LAL2024, you receive $250 off and one free ticket to Launchpreneur Academy Live 2024 this November in Novi, Michigan. Seize the moment and elevate your lawn care business with our most comprehensive package. You get full access to all training programs, including a one-on-one coaching call with Brian. The whole ball of wax includes free lifetime upgrades to future editions with a few exclusions. It's over $3,500 in programs and resources for $14.99, and we're going to take an extra $250 off that price. This is easily saving you over 50% compared to buying a la carte. If you've been contemplating making your move to the top, now is the time to act. The clock is ticking, and this offer ends August 31st. Turn your aspirations into achievements with Launchpreneur Academy's whole ball of wax. Use code LAL2024 and you receive $250 off and one free ticket to Launchpreneur Academy Live 2024. We've provided a link in the show description.
Ratings and reviews. Each week, we take a minute to highlight your guys' reviews of the show.
A listener with the handle Crooked Tinder gives us a 5-star review and writes, "Thank you for sharing your time, knowledge, and expertise with us. Fullerton Unfiltered has inspired and given me the courage to take the leap of faith and go from being a miserable emergency room nurse to a full-time, free and happy landscaper. Can't wait to grow within the green industry thanks to your podcast."
Want us to read your review next? Let us know how we're doing, and we might just read your review on next week's show.
All right, so here's what I want to do. Just talk for a couple quick minutes about postcards and hand billing specifically, and maybe like door-to-door sales. Now, I am going to keep this episode pretty short and sweet and pretty tight. Here's the big thing when we're talking about getting new customers with door-to-door sales or hand billing specifically. And I you can do an episode, a podcast episode on almost anything these days. So hopefully I don't stretch out 30 minutes on hand billing, but I have a lot to say on it. I've done it for, 17 years, 18 years, 20 years, passing out flyers. Frankly, probably 20 years, because I've been in business for 17, 18 years. But when I used to work at Little Caesars, I was charged and responsible for going out and passing out a certain number of, I forget what they call them, like the sticker box top that goes on all of your pizza boxes, the flyers. Well, Little Caesars on my tail end required all the store managers to start taking those flyers and going to visit. I don't know if it was once a week or once a month, but go to all the local businesses and pass out flyers and introduce yourself like as a community member, like part of the community. And, at the time I was like, this is just more work that I don't want to do. I don't need to do. Our sales were up on our store, our PSA per store average. So I was like, dude, I don't need to do this. But I did do it a couple of times. And I remember walking into offices, walking into the doors of offices, walking into strip malls, small businesses, even franchise businesses, and just saying, hey, if you guys have something, come put it on our bulletin board in our lobby. We'll put our flyer on yours, and let's just network and let's just get the word out of there about our small businesses. So I have been literally doing this for as long as I can remember. And even back, I guess, when you take it back when I was 10, 12, 15 years old with my little lawn care business in my mom's trailer park, I remember canvassing 635 lots with lime green papers back 25 years ago. Okay, so I have been door-to-door sales. I have talked to a lot of people in my lifetime. So I feel like I have a little credibility and whatnot where I can discuss all of this, okay? So here's what I want to talk about. Motorcycle zipping through. That's awesome. Here's what I wanted to talk about was, here is my philosophy on hand billing and door-to-door sales. And I'm not talking about like the kids hustling solar. Okay, God bless them. Their little Segway zipping scooters, whatever those things are called, unicycles. I'm talking about just getting the word out about your small business. Like what works today in this market and in this world, in this day-to-day age. My philosophy, if you can remember any one thing from this podcast episode, is not selling. And frankly, that is my life approach on pretty much everything that I do. I am the not sell. I'm all about selling. I'm all about closing. I'm all about making the sale. But in today's day and age and today's consumer, I think it's shifted a lot from the 1980s, 1990s, 2000s kind of sales or used car salesman approach, selling and convincing you that you need something. I think that philosophy of selling is on the way out. I think it has been for quite a while. And I think really the information age, if you will, has really done a number on that. There is a parasailor over the local landfill a quarter mile from me. I see a parasailer first thing in the morning, parasailing over I-96, the highway. You can't make this up. I have no idea why there's a man parasailing. I don't know if that's with like a motorized, like little bike thing. Holy squirrel. I learned that hot air balloons only fly in the first hour or two of the morning and the first hour or two or the last hour or two of the evening, I guess, for like the winds die down. So the more you know. But there is a guy parasailing over a 8-lane highway at 7:15 in the morning. Jesus. All right. So not selling is my form of selling. All right. What do I mean by that? Well, nobody likes to be sold. Everybody likes to buy. Maybe you've heard that before. Maybe you're brand new. You've never heard that. But that is the truth. And today's day and age, the consumer is more educated than ever before. They know enough about a little bit of everything, or they know a little bit of everything about a lot. They don't know a lot about a little. They know a little about a lot. So if I go into buy a Tesla, right, there's a pretty good chance that I know more or know enough, maybe not know more, but know enough that that's the car that I want. I don't think too many consumers these days go into a transaction. I mean, I would imagine less than 1 in 20 go into a transaction not knowing a little bit more about what they want, whether it's a car, whether it's a house, whether it's buying some shoes or some clothes, or maybe an electronic or an accessory, right? We all do our due diligence. You go to Best Buy, website, you go to Amazon's website, you go to the brand or manufacturer's website, you go to their socials, their Instagrams, their TikToks, and or you've probably watched a review from an influencer of whatever product or service. I mean, there's when I was looking at fifth wheel hitches, I was looking at all the websites from Gen Y to, oh my gosh, I'm not even going to start naming them all. You name one, you got to name them all. But all the major brands, all the major players, right? And I was watching their videos from the corporate side. I was watching the influencer videos from like the RV camper world influencers, quote unquote, just people reviewing products. And I was very educated. I was like, no, this is the one that I want. Now, of course, when I go into the sales guy, I want him to consult me. I want him to validate what I know. I want him to consult me on what I might be missing, any blind spots, and then just dial it in and if this is the right choice. Or maybe I want this, but he's suggesting this plus. Or I want this one, but he wants, he's like, hey, like based on what you're saying or your price point or your budget, or maybe we're going to grow into something, you might want this and this. Oh, okay, cool. Or an extra accessory, right? So a lot of words, how does this go back to hand building? Well, today's day and age, like people know a little bit about a lot. Like when you're out there passing out lawn postcards or lawn care or snow removal postcards or landscaping postcards, like people know a little bit about what they need on their property. They're a little bit more educated, especially if they're an enthusiast, or if they are in the market, like they've researched Teco's websites, Unilock's websites, Belgard's website. They know, they watch lawn care YouTube videos. It's become kind of a thing now for like 30-year-old males and even the females. Okay. Like folks are a little bit more educated. So imagine this, like you go, I'm going to give you like two examples here. Let's say you go to pass out your flyers. Not selling is selling. So you show up to somebody's house. You're just hand billing mailboxes. You got your postcards printed up from Pick Your Vendor. I always talk about and promote Postcard Mania. They've been phenomenal. If you need postcard designs, go to launchpreneuracademy.com/store, get the PDF art file, call up Postcard Mania. We've got an 888 number, an 800 number. We've got a postcardmania.com/Brian or VIP, I think, at Postcard Mania is the email. Right? I mean, like it's all literally done for you. You buy the design, you call them up, you can have postcards literally print and shipped to you in less than a week. Personalized, printed, and shipped to you in less than a week. Okay, if you want them to get mailed out, 2 weeks tops. Like that's a system, that's a marketing arm, that's a marketing system, that's a marketing partner for you to be able to grow your business. Well, let's say you don't want to do an EDDM or you don't have the budget for it, like totally fine. You're just getting started. You got some time. You don't have some money. You got plenty of time. So you got sweat equity, right? You're going to put some sweat equity into this thing. Well, let's get those postcards. You got 2,500 in a box. You got them, in your passenger seat. You got 50 in your hand or in your lap, and you're going driving on the left side of the road. You got your mirrors pulled in. You got your emergency flashers on. You're going mailbox to mailbox to mailbox, right? Awesome. Well, excuse me. Let's say you're doing this at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. You finished up your route because you only have 18 customers on a route that could take 25. You want to expand your business. You're not going to just go home and mail it in and say, oh man, the economy's tough. No, dude, you're going to get out there. You're going to get after it. So you start passing out postcards or flyers. It doesn't really matter. I think postcards are a little bit more of a quality design. They're a little bit more professional than a 10-cent paper flyer. But again, they both work. The idea is just get out in front of the customer. So we get out in front of the customer. We're going to pass out postcards. We're hand billing. We're putting on the flags, which technically, you can or cannot do. That's a whole debate. Obviously, you cannot put things in the mailbox. You do have to pay postage. You do have to go through that medium. So make sure you're not, throwing them in people's mailboxes. That's a big no-no. Again, if you've been doing this for 2 decades, you know this. If you've been doing this for 2 minutes, you're like, oh, I didn't know that. I thought you could just throw something in the mailbox. Unfortunately, it's the federal post office's property, so you can't pay to play unless you pay to put postage in there. You can't put anything in there. Now that being said, if some derelicts at 2 o'clock in the morning baseball bat your your mailbox and they explode it, well, the federal government's not paying for a new mailbox, so you have to go pay $100 to $400 for a new mailbox. But also, it's the federal government's property. Yeah, that totally makes sense. So anyway, Big Brother owns everything, right? So that being said, or at least got their hand in everything. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. That being said, you're passing out your postcards and your flyers, and basically, of course, True Green shows up to come spray a lawn right here in front of me at Discount Tire. Oh my gosh. So now I got the stand-on unit making its engine noise in the background. So you're passing out your postcards and your flyers, and remember, not selling is selling. Okay, remember anything from the show, it's not selling is selling. So you go and you're passing out your postcards in your truck, you're looking professional, the truck's been washed, and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so folks are starting to get home from work. One parent's usually rushing home to get the kids to get them to practice at 4, 5, 6 p.m. While the other one's coming home from corporate America and work, whether it's the husband or the wife. It's like roles have changed and they're flexible. Like it's a different world out there. So the dad comes running home or the mom comes rushing home. It's 3 o'clock and you're out there passing out your flyers with your hazards on, your flashers on for your truck. Well, guy whips into the driveway right in front of you. And you're about to put a postcard on the mailbox. And the guy goes, or the wife goes, hey, you go, hey there, how's it going? With a little friendly hand wave. And they go, hey, how's it going? And they're in a rush. And you go, hey, do you want me to put this on the mailbox or do you want me to just give it to you? And they say, oh, I'll take it. I got to get the mail anyway. And they come on up to you. And, they're in front of the mailbox or in front of you. And you're handing out your postcard. And they say, what's this? And you say, hey, my name's Todd. I'm a local landscaper. We're just trying to get the word out about our business. So we're passing out some postcards today. Here you go. And you put your arm out the window to put it in their hand. You don't ask if they want one. You put it in their hand. And the lady says, oh, okay, well, thank you so much. Now, let's break this part down. This is like the pivotal transaction part. This is the not selling. What most folks do is they blow their load. They say, yeah, so we do lawn care, we do landscaping, we do trees. I see you got some really gnarly trees up there. We can clean all that up with you. And by the way, I see you got stripes from your lawnmower guy. We're definitely better. We're definitely at a better price point. You should give us a crack at your property. Well, think about this. She just got home from work. She's overwhelmed. She's ready to get the kids off to go to baseball practice. She's got 2 kids that she told to get ready to go. They're not in uniform, right? They're playing video games. 5 more minutes, Mom. She's stressed out from her job. She was just fighting traffic. You're over here throwing up on her, and she's not ready for you. You're an unannounced guest. You're in her turf. You're on her property, right? You're in her world. This is her street and her subdivision. You're the unknown. So there's a little bit of who is this guy? Now what, who's selling me something? Then you come up to her and you say, yeah, your bushes suck. They look rough. and your lawnmower guy, you made a wrong choice because my price is better and we do a better job. So you're insulting who she currently has and her previous decision, right? Like, doesn't that sound kind of strange when you kind of extrapolate it? And you're thinking to yourself, no, Fullerton, there's no way. You're thinking too much into this. No, I'm telling you, this is the exact details when we have some self-awareness and you really start to psychoanalyze what the hell is going on around here. And you're like, well, my closing ratio is 1 in 10. How can this other guy claim that he's got a 50% closing ratio? Because these little details and these little nuances absolutely matter. Like, you have to think this through. You have to think about what's going on. And the best salespeople in the world get paid the most money, and they're worth their weight in gold. They're worth their weight in salt because they recognize this stuff and they close sales. And it's the engine that drives almost every company, right? Unless you have a really, really, really strong product-based business like Apple, then sales is just kind of facilitating the deal. But for the most of us, we all have to sell in some shape or form and close the deal. Okay, so not selling is selling. Let's go back to this for just a quick second. So that's scenario number 1. Scenario number 2 is, hey, yeah, I'm just dropping off some postcards. I got a landscaping company in the area, just trying to get the word out. Here's my postcard. You put it in her hands, and she says, thank you. And then you put the car back in drive, or it's already in drive. So you go, all right, well, hey, have a beautiful day. Nice to meet you. My name's Todd. If I can ever do anything, give us a shout. And then you start to creep away, little like 2 feet. You start driving. And she goes, whoa, hold on 1 second. Quick question for you. She goes, I'm in a rush. I got to get my kids off the baseball. But do you guys do shrub pruning, by the way? Oh, yeah, we're full service. We do everything. Shrub pruning, maintenance, snow, all the above. You shut up. No pitch. Just, yeah, we do a couple things, whatever you need. Well, I've got a graduation party here coming up in about 2 weeks. I've got to get these shrubs cleaned up and, maybe just put down some fresh mulch. Is that something you guys do? Oh, yeah, we can take care of all that for you. By the way, I see that you got lawn service. We're full service. We do maintenance as well. Really? Well, if you guys can, would you be able to, I know it's kind of short notice, but I gotta get my kids off the baseball here, but would you be able to give me a quote for my shrubs, give me a quote for the mulch, and could you give me a price? I'm definitely interested in getting that done. That's not selling. And you can say, yeah, I got a free minute actually right now. I can get that. How would you like me to get that information to you? Well, just do this. Take the back of your postcard, just write a pen on there, what a quote would be. I'm going to, get the link up with my husband later tonight. We'll call you back if the number looks good, and we'll get that scheduled, whatever, and make the house look nice. That's what she's saying. You go, yeah, that sounds great. Not selling is selling, right? So my point is, you're just being there. You're just being a resource. You're just being available. Like, that's in-person selling in today's world. Let me just ask you guys this question, and sorry for any of the background noise here. This guy, it just has to follow me around this whole damn building. It's hilarious. But not selling is selling, right? So if you were the customer going through the same process, what would you guys be interested in? Like, what would make some more sense? Like, which experience would you like to go through? Somebody showing up to your place unannounced, you have no idea who they are. The last thing you want to be, done is selling or being sold. Or somebody comes up to you and just says, hey, I'm in the area. I'm in the community. If we can ever be of value to you, let us know. And you say, oh, cool. Like, this guy's not trying to sell me. This guy's not trying to close me on something, right? Like that, to me, that's my level of being sold. That's my level of selling. My level of selling is, sell is just a fancy 4-letter word for help, H-E-L-P, right? So sell is a fancy 4-letter word, S-E-L-L, for H-E-L-P. So all I'm trying to do is help that guy or gal just be educated on what's available to them, right? Again, if you go into a Tesla dealer and you start saying, oh, the Tesla is the fastest car, it's the safest car, it's the whatever car, it's the best EV, it's the best whatever, like, the more you're selling, the more you're like trying to convince, and it's, I don't know, this is me just talking out loud, it's probably not as good as you're advertising it to be, or what I feel like I've researched it to be, right? So I said this once on a podcast with Paul Jameson. I said, A players aren't out there selling and convincing you that they're A players. B players are selling and convincing you that they're the right pick. A players are busy. A brands, A products, they don't need to convince you that you need to go with them. All they need to do is advertise that they're available and keep them top of mind to you, right? It doesn't mean you're better than anybody or you don't need work. I'm not saying that, right? Like, two things can be true at once. But B players and C players are the ones like trying to sell and convince you that to go with them. Now, you might need to consult, inform, educate to close the deal as an A player, but they're not trying to sell or convince you that they're a good buy or a good choice or a good investment. Does that make sense? So when you have that person come up to you at the mailbox and like, oh yeah, like we do better stripes than the last guy and we're a better price than the last guy and we do all this awesome and your guy, you know, stinks and all this other mess. To me, that's like a red flag. That's like a, hey, you maybe don't have it all going on or as much going on as you like to pretend or like to communicate, right? So that's just my opinion there on selling is not selling, or not selling is selling, as Mr. True Green goes by in his steel green 36-inch spreader sprayer, stand-on spreader sprayer. Gosh, where was that 20 years ago when I was cutting or spraying lawns with True Green? They gave me like a pallet of 40-pound, 50-pound bags of fur, and I had a little green Lesco push spreader going up and down in the hills both ways in the snow, right? So anyway, not selling is selling, okay? I think anybody that's out there going to pass out postcards or flyers, we all get the annoying person on the front doorstep, whether it's for business or religious or whatever. We've all had everybody on our front step, and the last thing you want to be done is sold, right? The signs all say no soliciting. No soliciting doesn't mean you can't leave a flyer. No soliciting just means don't knock on my door and start selling me. Like, I don't want to be solicited. That doesn't mean that I don't want a postcard or I want a product or service. Hear me out. Now, I'm not saying this doesn't mean you're allowed to go pass out postcards in a sub that has a no soliciting sign. What I'm just saying is I have given my postcard to people with no soliciting signs on their door and just left it in the door, or just knocked on the door still and just said, hey, just want to drop off a flyer. Not here to sell you on anything. Just wanted to drop off a flyer. Them open up the door. And I've had that client for 15 plus years. There's a guy named Garrett in one of my subdivisions, has a big old no soliciting sign out front, knocked on the door. And you would be afraid. You'd say, oh, no soliciting means I can't leave a sign. No, soliciting means selling. It doesn't mean like soliciting a service, quote unquote, just to let them know you exist, in my opinion. And I don't know, I'll walk that line. Like I have no problem getting out front. If you think a no soliciting sign is going to keep me from informing you about who I am, you're crazy, right? Like, but I'm not going to go on, I'm going to be respectful and not go on your property and sell, right? That's the big difference. So knock on the door, drop off a postcard. They come out and go, hey, and you go, oh, hey there, just in the community, wanted to drop off a postcard. Not here to sell you anything. I saw your sign, but hey man, by the way, cool F-150. Is that the Harley Davidson edition? That thing is sweet. Oh yeah, cool. Oh, thank you. Hey, what do you guys do again? Oh, just lawn care, landscaping. We do some snow too. Nothing crazy. Actually, hold on one second. What'd you get? I see you guys in here. Are you Brian with the red truck? Yeah. Oh yeah, you guys cut my neighbor John here. Yeah, we mow John's lawn right next to you. But again, not here to sell you anything. Have a great day, brother. And if you need anything, give me a call. Well, no, come here. No, I'm interested. Come here. And he goes, that's just the sign for, the haul down the road. Okay. So now you're in. All right. Now you're in home base. Now you're on his property. The entire dynamic changes. Now you just need to shut up, be a good listener, and then be a good advisor on what he's looking for. A mulch job, bed redefining, trim the shrubs. He wants Christmas lights, needs a fall aeration and overseed because he's got a bunch of patchy areas, right? That kind of conversation. So again, only I could take door hanging and postcard marketing and hand billing to a 25.5-minute show, 30-minute show here. But I feel like if you're brand new, maybe you've never been told this because you think your idea of selling or going door to door scares you is used car salesman, RV salesman, which no shade, nothing like that. Doesn't mean they're better or worse people or anything like that, or better or worse career or profession, nothing like that. It's just the stigma. But if you think that's what selling is, right, you've been completely misinformed. Selling is helping. Selling is listening. Selling is advising, right? And then I will say you do have to master the close. There is an art of the close. And usually where most people are missing this, and we could do a whole nother podcast on selling and closing, but literally where most folks are screwing up, and this is just a whole nother quick mention, but a whole nother tangent I could go on, is that a lot of us are not asking for the sale, right? You have to ask for the sale. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for now. I got a lot to say about selling and closing, especially in the green industry as it relates. It's not a complicated topic, but I could take 2 or 3 sentences and talk about it for a half hour just on mindset, because you have to have the mindset of why you're going out there to sell, how you're getting the word out for sure, but you have to understand how you close in today's market and close in today's world, because it's completely different. Before, you used to get sold that this car was great, and then they would sell you with a 9.5%, 12% interest rate, the extended warranty, the paint protection film, and the unlimited lifetime tire warranty. Like, that's the used car sales guy going into the finance office, the meat grinder, like the finance office. Like, that version of selling still exists. That's why everybody hates buying a car, even today, right? I hate that. You hate that. That's why I hate buying a traditional vehicle versus when I bought my Tesla. It was the best buying experience, bar none. One of the coolest cars, but it was one of the best buying experiences, because all I literally did was give the title to my old car. I put it in their Dropbox. The manager came out and said, all right, everything looks good. And literally, I imported my car into the app, and then I drove away in my new car. It was like a 10-minute transaction, versus I buy trucks, once every other couple years now, probably one truck every year, multiple trucks every year to be. And, I'm just dreading that process of dealing with some moron that wants to sell and convince me on what I do or don't need. I'm already educated, bro. I just need you to close my deal. I just need to know you exist, and I will call you. I'm not opposed to people following up, right? The fortune's on the follow-up. But stop trying to sell me. Don't try to convince me. And you guys hopefully can relate. I'm telling you, that's my philosophy, not only here. That's my philosophy with all of my content, right? I will never try to sell you guys on anything. I'm not going to tell you what you should do. I will present some information to you. I will advise you. I will make suggestions to you. If you have a specific question, I'm going to tell you what I would do. But you'll never see me carte blanche try to sell or convince anybody ever. Like, that is a cardinal life philosophy for me. I will never do that to you, because if somebody did that to me, that'll be the last time you're going to have a conversation with me. And I remember actually listening to a podcast episode with Jeremiah Jennings, and he said the exact same thing. If you try to sell me, that is the last time we're going to be talking, right? So don't sell people in today's market. Be an advisor. The not sell, in my opinion, is the way to go. All right, I think that's how you're going to be the most effective out there with today's modern consumer that's very educated and has the lay of the land. All right, that's what I got for you guys in today's podcast episode. I appreciate you guys listening in, as always. If you enjoy this episode, you feel like you got something out of it, would you guys do me a big solid? Would you guys leave me a rating and review? Leave something on the podcast here. Hit 5 stars. That's the kind of stuff. Helps out a lot. We're trying to give you the sauce and give you guys everything that I can, that I've accumulated over 20 years here. So appreciate any support there. And that's what we got. All right. You guys have a beautiful rest of the day. Stay out of trouble. Go not sell. And let's kick butt and take it business to the front. All right. Love you guys. Have a great day. We'll catch up with all of you here on the next one.
Hi, this is Scott from New Jersey. I just want to say that Brian puts out some great content. Definitely has helped me grow my lawn and landscape business. I also just recently purchased the whole ball of wax from Lawntrepreneur Academy. Loving all the content. Check it out. Brian's definitely out there looking out for our best interest and trying to help us grow a bigger and better business. I'm ready to go out there and crush it.
Don't forget, all during the month of August, when you purchase the whole ball of wax at LawntrepreneurAcademy.com and you use the code LAL2024 at checkout, you're going to receive $250 off the price. And we're going to throw in one free ticket to LAL 2024 this November in Novi.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.